Hello, fellow traders. Hey, this is Nutty Bar Trading coming to you on a Saturday. And yeah, I just wanted to do kind of a review of my trades so far and just kind of I'm gonna talk through some of my thoughts and areas that I'm going to be looking to improve and just kind of have a little bit deeper dive into my trades so far. And yeah, just kind of a overall summary. And I'm going to be using Tradezella. That's kind of why I wanted to do a video. I just discovered Tradezella and I was kind of curious about it and thought I would test it out, kind of see how I like it, see if it has some benefits. This is not paid sponsorship or anything like that for Tradezella. I'm not promoting this or in any form. I'm just kind of reviewing it. I was playing around with it this morning and I thought there were some things that were pretty cool. So I just thought I'd do a video and share my thoughts. But yeah, basically like here's like a dashboard and trying to understand exactly what this is. It's called like the Zella store. Looks like this is a beta, like something that just came out, I guess. But basically have win percentage. It looks like I'm doing well with that. My profit factor, I'm doing okay with. My average win loss looks like I could use some improvement on. So I assume you want these on all four corners would be great. So anyway, whatever. Looking at, and then this is just showing your net P&L. Basically, in this, yeah, everything is accurate. Everything looks accurate according to, I was comparing it with NinjaTrader, making sure everything looks right. Everything was good to go. This is kind of a daily P&L. Yeah, everything looks right there. And along the top here, so net P&L is $22,087. Trade expectancy is $92. 1.32 profit factor, 64.2% win percentage. My average win-loss ratio is 0.73. So that definitely isn't what I would like it to be. Part of that reason is, or I think part of that reason is I trade with two contracts. And I have a profit target for my one contract at around 8 ticks. And then I try and my other contract gets moved to break even and I try to catch a runner. Well, and a couple issues. I mean, I've not been doing well with runners. And I have just been getting stopped out for break even a lot of times. And well, actually, let me rephrase. So my stop loss is actually +1, which is actually important for this equation because so my stop loss is at +1. If it was at break even and then my stop loss hits, it actually would classify that as a losing trade. So because of the commission, I'm pretty sure it would do, or that it would, maybe it would do it as a break even, but it wouldn't go in as a winning trade. Because I have my stop loss at +1, when that hits, it classes it as a winning trade for very, the least amount of profit you can get. So that, I think, is part of the reason it's really dragging my win-loss ratio down, where if it would be a loss, it would go on, my average loss would then be lower. Which is why I sometimes feel like the average win-loss ratio isn't really reflective. I think it's more important to have a good profit factor because psychologically, that it wouldn't make sense. I mean, I guess that some cases, but if my stop loss was at break even, obviously I would lose more money unless there's that one in 100 chance that I wouldn't have gotten stopped out if my stop loss was 1 tick lower. I don't know. Maybe that would have happened, but unlikely. So I think that's part of it. I also know that I need to be more patient in my trade. So there's definitely room for improvement there, but I just wanted to bring that up. So then we go down and we have like a calendar view. I really like this. That's something I can't see on NinjaTrader, but it basically just shows, you know, hey, okay, now I wanted to show that. Like this day we had 7, and at a glance you can see how you've been doing. And then if you click on it, it'll show all, like this is what's really nice. Like here, it'll show all your trades. For example, this trade here, like if I click on this, like you can just kind of drill down as you go. Now this should load here. Yeah. So, you know, from my calendar, I can just drill down into each trade and I can see exactly where I'm at, which I think is really cool. So basically, I can see the trade here. Right here is where I entered. And so one thing I noticed on this, so it shows I entered with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It shows like I entered with 12 contracts. And I can't remember, but basically those are from the copy trader. So it shows like I was basically had 12, like contracts traded is 12, which is technically true. So it's basically not showing all the different accounts. It's just combining that as 12 contracts traded. And then you can see here, this is where I took my first profit, and this is where I took my second profit. And yeah, that I think it's really cool how you can kind of drill down, like here, you can drill down each trade and you can see like here, my loss here, 7 contracts traded. And, you know, I went long at 41.54. I actually remember this trade. This was very frustrating. Very frustrating trade. So I went long, and this bar was actually, I wonder if you can change the, okay, it's on 1 minute. So I probably can't change it to anything less than that the way it looks. But I went long right here at 41.54, which was right here, right in this area. We just started uptrend. It was a little bit of a premature entry. And then I got stopped out on 41.52.75, which is right here at this tick. Literally got stopped out right at the bottom. And then it whoosh climbed all the way up to 41.58. So a little bit frustrating. I remember that one. But then you can like manually, you can do a lot of things here. You can rate it. You can, like, I can give this trade a different star rating. I can add a tag. Like, you can create your own different tags. You can take a tag or create a tag for a certain entry or a certain strategy, and you can tag each trade based on a strategy. You know, and then you can kind of see which strategy is being profitable versus which one isn't. Definitely something I've been, I don't know how much time I want to dive in on that, but definitely something to think about. Maybe, you know, maybe I do that in the future if I decide to go with, you know, sign up and do the full, yeah, keep going with Tradezella. So mistakes, you can, you know, create tags for mistakes, and you can see if you consistently have the same mistake. So I think, yeah, I thought it was very cool. Playbook, you can select the different creative playbook. Not sure what that's all about. But yeah, so we can go back here to our home screen and just, you can obviously hear this day. Okay, that seems to not be working. Okay, maybe it is. But I remember this day. This was my worst day that I've had so far on this challenge. And this trade right here actually would be a good one to review. I remember I started the day off actually well. And right here, this trade put me over the edge. And I'm a little okay. So 14 contracts traded means I went in with 2 contracts. That I do remember that. So on this one, we had a huge move up. This was right after a news release, which I don't usually like to be trading, but we had really good momentum, I thought. And I was biased to the upside on that day. So again, just another example of not being biased. So, but yeah, I went long right here, thinking we're gonna, made a move up, and we pulled back a little bit. We were starting to go back up. I entered on a market order, and we came down. I didn't honor my stop loss on this. I kind of panicked out. Finally, I got out at 41.81, which is, right here, which way bigger stop loss than I originally was planning to have. I also did have some slippage, so there's that. But just bad trade all around, not trading the news. I knew better, paid the price. But then here we just had 3 losses in a row. I remember that. Just very frustrating. Overall, frustrating day. And yeah, did not like that. But yeah, then if you go here, daily journal, you can basically summarize your day. So Friday, you can go in here, you can do a new note, and you can just basically add a note for how your day was, And you can also, on this, it's kind of like, because it kind of shows you a graph of how your day went. Here you can see a pretty good, Friday was a really good day, 76% win rate. Thursday started off a little bit red and ended up having a great day. Wednesday, my bad day, started off, this was the really bad trade, made a little bit of a recovery toward the end of the day. But yeah, just gives you kind of a, right here, I remember this was kind of a rough day, ended up green. Kind of a rough day all day. In the afternoon, ended up green, similar to this day, actually. And here we were in the red as well, and just managed to get it above green. Then here was my other red day. So, just, yeah, I don't know. Kind of like it. Trade log. Basically, this shows all your trades. I'm not sure really what you do with it. Reports. So this is really interesting. Basically kind of drills down and shows all your different trades. So total commissions, I saw that and I'm like, wow. And that's insane. Total commissions, almost $9,000. That's what happens when you link together, a lot of accounts. And I did have some days where I overtraded as well, so you'll have that. Average winning trade, 591. We went over this already and the reason for it. Number of break-even trades. So I wanted to show that. So it's 0. And it's because I put my stop loss at +1. And if this was break even, the average winning, average losing trade would be quite different. But my profit factor would also be lower then. So I'm going to keep it the way it is. I don't have any reason to change it. My largest profit was $4,200. My largest loss was $3,700. Ugh, yuck. So here's another thing that I thought was very interesting. My average hold time for a winning trade is 7 minutes. My average hold time for a losing trade is 15 minutes, almost double. So I'm going to look into that more of why, I'm holding on to my losers a little bit too long, according to that. I will look into that. And my average daily profit and loss is 2,000 is my average daily. My average winning day is 3,300. My average losing day is 2,300. Largest profit, largest loss. Average planned, our multiple isn't really something that, it doesn't really, the way I understand these, Tradezella doesn't really compute R factor with futures. So not really anything to look there, but yeah, that's the reports. Insights, I don't know what this is. University, don't really know what that is. Very likely some kind of, I don't know, is it a tutorial or whatever, but I ain't interested in that. Notebook. So notebook, I think, is when you can add your daily journals. You can add trade notes, daily journal, session recap, my notes. I think that's kind of it, but yeah, overall, found it interesting about how long I'm holding my trades. Definitely something to monitor. And then obviously, just honoring my stop losses. That I definitely need to, like, when I don't do that, I pay the price. So the lesson learned, hopefully. But overall, I'm happy with how it's been going. Again, sorry I didn't really say, but again, if you're new here, I'm basically, this channel is, my number one priority on this channel is full transparency. So I want to show, like, I'm going to go on a rant here. So disclaimer, like in this industry on YouTube, the day trading industry, there's so many people and day traders that are successful that are they might not even be selling anything. But they refuse to be transparent. If you, I've done a couple different trades. I'm not going to name any specific channels, but I've asked a couple traders, hey, could you share your profit and loss? And because, they're basically teaching or saying, like, this is how you should trade and blah, blah, blah. I know they're not saying it's, financial advice, yada, yada, yada. But then they refuse. And if you ask them for a profit and loss statement, to basically prove that, what they're saying is true. I don't think that's out of line. They just are very rude, or A, they'll just block your comment, or B, they will, respond that, basically come across very rude, and they'll never share it. But I just don't, I refuse to follow people and channels that are not transparent. To me, it's very simple. If you are a successful trader, then you have no issue showing your profit and loss and being transparent. You really isn't. But these channels that just always are putting out content that they're winning trades, and that they're so successful and yet they show no proof. And they might cherry pick one specific trade that made them 10,000 or 20,000, and that's the only thing they talk about. That is a unrealistic and a misleading to the audience, in my opinion. So it drives me crazy how in this environment, in this YouTube space, how people aren't held responsible. I'm shocked by just the lack of people actually asking for transparency. And then, you know, a lot of these communities have huge followings. And if you ask for someone's profit and loss, or if they're trading live, you ask that, hey, could I see your live P&L? And you just get an onslaught from their followers, and it's saddening. It's saddening and maddening. But anyway, that's my rant. I'm done. But it is very important to me to be transparent on this channel. If I lose, blow up the accounts, whatever it may be, you'll see it. And that is the reality of trading. It really is. So I want to be transparent, number one. Number two, I am doing a challenge. I want to try and get 20 Apex accounts funded. I'm doing the $50,000 accounts, which would equal to $1 million in funded accounts. Now, I know it's not technically $1 million. I think, you know, your stop loss is at 2,500. So let me think. 2,500 times 20 accounts is 50,000. So technically, it would be actually trading with $50,000 of capital that you can lose. Now, I also know most of these times, this is through Apex, that even when you go on a prop funded account, you're not trading live, at least right away. If you prove that you can be consistently profitable, then Apex will ask you to move to a live account. Possibly. They might not. But regardless, I mean, that isn't really, and yeah, this is just part of being transparent, but they will pay out regardless. I have no concerns with that at all. They've paid out over 15 million in this past year. So I don't have any concerns with Apex. They've been great. I really like them. I've traded with a lot of different prop accounts, and Apex to me is just the best option considering everything. So yeah, I do have an Apex affiliate link. That's the only thing that I promote on this channel. Obviously, it will help me out if you want to use it. If not, whatever. Right now, I think they have a 90% sale going on. But yeah, I want to do this challenge. And the other part of the reason I do this and created this channel was to hold myself accountable. It really has helped to hold myself accountable. When I'm entering trades and I'm live, you know, and I know that anyone can go on here and see and watch, you know, watch me blow up. I don't know, there's something about that holds me accountable. And I've been following my rules better. And I've just been I've been trading a little bit better. I've been watching my entries and not over trading as much. So that is also part of the reason that I started this channel, and that I will continue to post on this channel. Basically, I go live every day, usually around 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning, depending on how my morning's going. And I trade usually all day. I do not have a set profit target where, hey, if I hit 500, I'll stop and I'm done for the day. I might do that depending how the market's moving, and maybe I'll do that. But I don't really have a set. If there are great trade setups, then I'll continue trading. If the money's there to take, then you got to take it when it's there to take, because some other days you're going to be on the other end of the deal. And if you're seeing the market well, then I think, for me anyway, I want to capture that. So anyway, that's my video for today. Kind of a summary, a little bit of rant, and a summary of Tradezella, or a review of Tradezella, I guess you could say. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm definitely intrigued by it, and I might keep uploading my trades, at least for my daily summaries. I'll continue like I have been doing and just using NinjaTrader But then maybe I'll do a weekly summary, and my weekly summary every Saturday I'll use this Tradezella to do my weekly summary. So I think that would be a good idea. All right, well, if you enjoy this kind of content and transparency, I subscribe, follow along. I would appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you Monday.